tree progression and what I do normally on my Weaver tree. So here's a very short video about that. Again, I'm just gonna cover the early game because after that is what you do, right? What I normally do on early game always is I go for this side because I try to get these 2 imprints as soon as possible, right? I normally do this, I do this, into this, into this, into this. These 2 are very, 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 very important. I'm also normally trying to get XP, so I really like this node too. And this is very, very strong, but it's especially strong later in the game once you have your factions, you know, because you don't really care about favor early game because you don't even have your factions. So I normally go for the XP a chance thingy. After that, it's kind of like up to you what you do, but I normally like going in this way because I like going for this Woven Echo. You know, by the time I'm here, I'm normally reaching normal monolith, right? And this echo allows me to imprint if I get lucky and I get like a false temple or I get like something like that. It allows me to enter those juice Woven Echoes as soon as possible. So I normally get this so I can juice as soon as possible. If I have my Woven also, because this takes quite a few points, normally I also take the Spiderlings here because they give me density. Density basically means XP. And the best thing about this is that you don't have to deal with beacons, which absolutely suck, okay? The next thing I do is I normally go this way, and the same reason, right? I try to get the imprint, I try to get the false temple. This also sometimes depends what I do first, depending on how many points I get at once. Because basically, normally what I do is like I collect a bunch of Woven Echoes, and then I do them all at once. So, you know, imagine I'm in this situation here, and I have 3 points left. Well, instead of doing 1, 2, 3, I would have done 1, 2, 3 to get value immediately, right? But if I had like 5, for example, I would have done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You know what I'm saying, right? If I had 4, I would have gone directly for this one and then used the remaining point on that. After this, it normally depends a lot on what the vibe is and what I'm doing. You know, sometimes if the build I'm playing is horrible at echoes and I just wanna, you know, chill, I go this. But echoes are really good for experience, so sometimes I leave them up. And here I normally have my faction, so I max this one. And then this depends, right? There's a lot of endgame strategies that you want to be later, like the increased Ember, like the increased Nemesis, if that's what you're going for. But normally what I do is I try to get this last imprint, which is not as useful, but, you know, sometimes is what I do. If you're playing softcore, you could also go for this, which is very nice, you know, for the dungeon bullshit. And if my build needs Weaver items, I always max this. Because that basically makes it so the Weaver item that I'm looking for, it's gonna be way easier to find and way more, it's gonna have more Weaver's Will on average. So that's normally what I do. Again, this is normally what I do on League Start. I don't think this is anything too crazy. If I have extra points, a lot of the times I go for this, you know, because I try to get the completionism of my Weaver tree itself. Some people like rushing this early, but again, I don't really, as long as I get these 2 imprints going, which you can get easily without boosting your echo chance, I'm good, you know. You know, if you're farming Harbingers, you could also go for these points here, because the anchored reality node basically gives you more stability. So if you wanna say that, oh, I've got this corruption this fast, well, this is gonna be good for you, but normally I don't do so. Then later, what I normally do is I go for the last Warlord's Riches, which again, this is a very random affix, not as reliable as the other 3. And then I ended up normally going, once I can afford it and once I'm strong enough, I normally going for the twinned exiled mages with the graveyard prisons, so I can get the experimental rune prison complex Woven Echo thingy, the one that allows you to craft experimental affixes, and I try to do that as soon as possible. Again, like I said, later, Memories of the Fortune, always spect. You know, normally I also do the Nemesis. If I need a weapon, I might do this too. You know, possessed enemies, you know, if I want to get giga stuff. You go for the champion spawn with mages spawn. So, you know, when you start farming like actual imprints and items, that's what you normally do. And yeah, then a lot of times I would like disable arena by now, or I would max up Blood Lizards when I'm starting out. These nodes are very, very good early game. And then another really good note is the increased rune chance that I normally grab also in the end game. Once I already done all my echoes, so I would despec this increased echo bullshit, and I would just go for getting as many runes as possible, because this will affect my runes of creation, my and all that, and my runes of ascension won't work, because I'm pretty sure they're purchase only. I don't know actually. But yeah, it's very good for runes of creation, and very good for all the good stuff. So again, I hope you like this information. I tried to keep it as brief as possible, and yeah, see you on the season. Bye.